Hello, everyone. Good day, good evening, morning, whatever time of day it is for you in any part of the world. Hello. I'd like to say hi to everyone in the chat. Hey, Lee. Hey, Nathaniel. Mushba. Awesome. Great to have you all here. We are back for the Daily Creative Challenge for Adobe XD. I am your host, Sam Anderson. We're streaming live from San Francisco here. I would love to hear everywhere that everyone is from in the chat. Tim is back. Hello, hello. This is great to have everyone here. Like I said, streaming from San Francisco. We are diving into, we're on Friday. We're like halfway through our challenge here of the XD Daily Creative Challenge. We're learning some UI, UX with Adobe XD, the prototyping and design software. So I'm a designer on the XD team, and hopefully I'll be able to show you some of the ropes of not only XD, but designing for experiences in general and some of the principles around that. So behance.net/challenge/XD, that's where we're going to, that's like the homepage for where everything is going to be based and where you will get your files for all of our challenges each day. So you'll want to make sure that you head over to behance.net/challenge/XD and click that blue button, and that will give you a notification every day for each new challenge every day. And basically, each day we have a starter file along with our prompt and what we will be learning for that day. We are here Friday, July 26th. Happy Friday. Is everyone excited? Erica is excited to start learning from Ecuador. That's exciting. Welcome, welcome. Gabriella is also in the chat. Hello, welcome. And so here is where you can download our UI kit or basically just a starter file that will hopefully give you the basics that you need to get started with our challenge. So each of these will populate every day. You can learn more about XD here and download it if you're not familiar already. And you can chat in our community Discord chat channel, which is actually going to be really helpful if you want feedback on your designs. So basically, that link is going to be important. This takes you to Dropbox, and this is the starter file that you can download. Basically, you can just select it, and you hit download at the top right there. Pretty easy. That's it for this page. Like I said, Discord is the link down here, and I'll show you what that Discord looks like. So here it is. Here we are in Discord. This is the XD Daily Challenge channel. So this one's called Current-Challenge, and this is where everyone's sharing prototype links to what they're designing each day. And we're giving feedback to everyone. So look at all of the amazing content that is in here from what people are sharing with everyone. Look at this. We did a radio app yesterday. So people are creating lots of fun like animations and using auto-animate in lots of creative ways. Look at that. Wow. Not bad. And what's key here is that we're sharing the content, but we're also giving feedback back because we know that that's really the only way as designers that we'll get better. It's that feedback that will help us improve, even if it's a little critical. You just need to really take it and make it, integrate it into your design and make your design stronger. And so hopefully we integrate that all so that we can make our designs better and then eventually share to Behance, which is where you can really show off your work. And I'll show that at the end. Today we are designing a fun experience. It's a chat app for a travel experience. So basically the idea here is that you have a digital travel agent, and this digital travel agent is going to help you and aid you in your traveling extravaganza. And so basically in a very natural conversational way, how can we get people to like book a hotel or an Airbnb, anything like that, so that they can have a fun time and not really have to jump through many hoops. And the principle here is to get visual. And this is actually really important because oftentimes we won't realize how important photos are in our design. And so what we're going to be doing today is just really big photos and really kind of emphasize that's exactly what people are coming here for, is to really see that photos. And then everything else kind of happens to be secondary, making this a really visual, visceral experience. It's also helpful to know that icons are oftentimes understood quicker than text, especially if they're paired an icon with a label of text. Is really quick to understand rather than just text or just a label, just an icon, sorry. We have some ways for you to track your progress and some plugins which we'll dive into, as well as some inspiration. So let's dive in here. And I'm thinking we will have some sort of gradient background. This is for the tablet. It's for a tablet device. So we're going to have some chat bubbles, and I made these earlier, which are kind of fun. I made them components. Basically, it's a rounded rectangle with a little tail attached to it, and I just drew this with the pen tool. And I made them a group, and I made sure that we're using responsive resize pinned to the bottom right. And what that will allow us to do is basically resize this, and it kind of, no matter how big we want our chat bubble to be, it's always looking like a chat bubble, versus like it getting bigger, smaller, and kind of breaking like that with the responsive resize off. So we want to make sure that we're using like the fun responsive resize tool that really helps us navigate our chat bubble design. So that's a fun little feature. We also know that we're going to want some sort of face for our travel agent. I'm going to assume this is a human, but maybe for your design, it's an artificial intelligence that's helping its way through. And so you could create a persona around that if you'd like. Or maybe you can go in a totally different route. I really want to encourage you to get creative with this. So, and to make a chat bubbles for the other side, because we're going to follow that convention of left and right, we can just flip. We can just flip our bubble to the other way, and then the tail is coming from the other side. So I kind of like this sunset background. It's going to work with some of the imagery that I'll bring in. And so we'll start with some like intent. So we'll start with, you can add onboarding on top of this to, give a brand. We'll add this like little bar up here. Actually, that's all black, so you can actually get rid of that. But there are assets if you want to add a keyboard for how you type your chat responses. Those are all available in the Get UI Kits Apple iOS. That will take you to Apple's iOS UI Kit, which you can download right here for XD. And you can bring those easily into your design so that you're designing with the real iOS assets. So that can be handy if you definitely want that keyboard aspect. I think you might stay away from that just for the simplicity of this design so far, but we have our chat bubble and we want some text inside of it. And so this is where we're going to basically say like, hey there, I'm looking to travel to the UK for an extraordinary, sorry, it's going off screen here. And it's also huge. We definitely don't want our text that big. That's a little too much, right? It'll make its way into the bubble, don't worry. Hello everyone that's joining. So, looking for an extraordinary, okay. I'm looking to travel to the UK for an extraordinary trip. Any ideas? And you can make this, I encourage you to make this conversation go in whatever direction you'd like that you think works for your design. So it doesn't have to exactly go like this. And the responses don't have to be the exact same as what I'm giving. So you can have some fun with it. We'll do something like that. We will make our text box smaller. I'm actually going to put the text box into the group. There we go. And that's coming from the right side, which is the general convention for if you're chatting, it's usually coming from the right side. Cool. And then actually, usually the bubbles are blue, right? They're blue on the right side. Yeah, I believe so. At least for iMessage with white text. And you don't have to make them blue. You could do any color you want. You do want to make sure that you're using legible color contrast so that it's readable. So you wouldn't want to do something like a dark text on this really saturated color. Or actually, no, that would still work, but you wouldn't want to do, obviously you don't want to do that, but there are less extreme examples. You wouldn't want to do that. That's just kind of hard to read. So we're going to keep it white. Okay. And so we're going to have this come in from off screen. And so we learned some auto animate yesterday. And so we're going to apply some of that today as well. But basically the idea, if you don't know, is to have two objects between two artboards and XD in different positions and different opacities, let's say. And XD will transition between the two for us. So I just moved it down and at 0 opacity. And we'll apply, I'm just dragging out a wire between those two, and we'll do an auto animate transition, and basically we get this result. It just kind of appears. Let's look at that again. Yeah, it comes up just like you would expect a chat bubble to pop up. So that's nice. And then, cool. We would also add in a text box for you to actually tap on to type your message as well, but you can add that to your design. I'm not going to get to it for today, but the idea here is that then we will get a message in reply. So I'll move this up, and actually I'm thinking we're going to move everything over just a tad because I want some room on the right to put some photos, because that's really the main idea of this design. So, okay. Let's rearrange some of these elements. I'm rearranging it over on this side so the animation stays, straight. I'll put that over there. And then on this one, we're going to have the bubble come from the travel agent itself. So we're switching roles here. I will flip the bubble. There we go. So the tail is coming from the other side. And I will also add this face. And where this photo came from is that there's a plugin called UI Faces, and there's actually a few of them out there. It's called UI Faces, but there are plenty out there, and you can download them through the plugin manager here. And so if you run UI Faces, you can have a bunch of these selected actually, and it'll populate a different face for each one if you'd like. You have a bunch of options, and you can do apply faces. Oh, and it didn't work. But basically, yeah, let's try that again. And if it doesn't work, that's okay. It will likely work for you. Let's try it. Maybe not. One more time. Oh, maybe I have to type in the age range. Here we go. There we go. So we have some random people populating our design. So you can use that if you'd like to get some photos. And we're going to have this come from over here, like that. We want to make sure the bubble is actually, I'm just bringing it over here so I can align everything exactly how I'd like. And then the bubble from our travel agent should be a different color. Different people, different colors. So we'll do white, and we'll make the text black. Cool. And they're not going to be saying the same thing. I was just using that as a guide. And since I moved this one over, I'm going to redo this one as well. So, boom, boom, boom. Cool. And so let's actually determine what text we're going to be putting here. So I'm thinking that the travel agent will have some sort of idea, like, how about this Airbnb? Oh, make sure you adjust the whole group. Here we go. There we go, and now everything's changing how we like it. And here we're going to group those together. 0% opacity. Bring that one, let's bring that one back. Bring this one, I'm just copy and pasting. Back to this slide, or this artboard, increasing the opacity, moving it up a little bit. And with this one, we're also going to add some images. So with the last few minutes here, we'll show that we want these images of this Airbnb that she finds to like kind of come in, and they're like these epic, like awesome like cabin, you know. Maybe it slides in, so to make it slide in, I'll just have it over on the right at first, at low opacity, and then on the next one, we'll auto-animate into it coming on board. And it could be fun to also have like a swiping gesture so that you could flip between another image of this really awesome Airbnb. And then we'll duplicate again, and perhaps there's a reply, right, from our end again, where it's like, yeah, let's do it, because it looks awesome. Who wouldn't want to stay there, right? So this reply is going to be coming from the person that, you know, really wants to get out and travel. And so that everything's going to move up like that. In prototype mode, we're going to do auto animate between all of these transitions, and it'll look really nice. And then she's going to reply, our travel agent's going to reply. Let's bring this up again. Let's make sure this is going on the previous slide as well. Keep calling them slides, but they're artboards at 0% opacity, so each one slides up consecutively. And then we're going to duplicate this, and then there's actually, we want to do like a calendar so that we can choose a date for when this person wants to book this experience. So there's actually a calendar plugin. It's literally just called Calendar. You can look for it in the plugin extension, you know, little box thing. And so we can generate a calendar right here. Boom. That's exactly what we need. And so we'll move everything else up, and she's going to ask like, okay, when would you like to go? Again, it doesn't have to be a calendar. You can take this in any direction. Let me fix this typo as well. You can go in any direction you want. And perhaps this is actually like going to encompass, oh, that's not what we want. Okay, this is going to be bigger to fit the calendar inside. We'll move this back up and move everything over just so it all fits in line with where everything was before. Right, and then our user, our person that wants to travel, can actually select a date with that one. And you can get even further with further steps, you know, like confirming details, swiping through other photos. But the key here is that, you know, we're allowing this experience to really get visual. And so I'll add this to this one as well. It'll come from the bottom, 0% opacity again. And let's wire these up and see if there's any issues. We might run into a few because sometimes auto animate isn't always perfect, but we're just reusing that same auto animate transition on each one, and we're doing a tap between each one as well. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So our first message goes out, hey there, I'm looking to travel to the UK for an extraordinary trip. Any ideas? How about this Airbnb? So there's a little flicker there. That's likely because of layer order. So where we are putting the design on this is actually not all the way in the back. So I'm using that keyboard shortcut that you see on the edge of the screen. That's just to send to back. And that will likely fix that design, that little flicker. Any ideas? How about this Airbnb? And it comes up. I would encourage you for your design to also add some additional details about the Airbnb and where they can see more details. And then, yeah, let's do it. And then we're choosing a date. And so you get the idea of how, like, we're making it visual, not just by putting this tiny photo into the corner of the screen into a little bubble, but we're like totally changing the chat experience to be fully engaged in this like travel extravaganza fun experience, right? So I would encourage you to really take this further, use ideas like using the whole background, making these little interactive widgets to book a hotel room, choose a date, any kind of aspect that you would like. So it could get really fun. And I think you have a lot of room to be creative in this. Let's see, I'm reading the chat here. Wouldn't the Airbnb image the agent shared be a little difficult for the user to view being in the background and not in the chat? Perhaps, but I could imagine that they could still swipe through it. That's why we're keeping the chat bubbles over to the left, and then you could put whatever detail information over to the right, and perhaps they can actually like scroll the chat down to hide it and enter in a full screen view. That could work and be nice as well. So I'm liking this design. I think you guys can actually take this so much further, but I think you get the gist of it. So when you're done, we can share a link, right, to that we can share with everyone and get feedback. So what we do is we hit the share button at the top right-hand corner. It's the big blue button, and then share for review is the one we're looking at here. And so we can create a link as easy as that, and we'll get an interactive prototype, which will be fun. And basically we copy that link, boom, link copied, head over to Discord, our channel called current-challenge. That's where you can just paste this link however you'd like, and we send it through there and we can give you feedback. So we have a lot of people engaging with awesome feedback here, like I showed earlier, to really help everyone become a better designer. So that's a really great way that we can improve our design skills and get some feedback on the animations, on the content, on the whole story that we're telling. Really flesh out that story, and you can really have a blast with it. Once you get your feedback, and you perhaps like revamp your design a little bit with that feedback in mind, we can upload to Behance. So basically, on Behance, there's always this blue button at the top, create a project. And when you click that, when you're logged in, you can upload photos of your design. So whatever story you'd like to tell, I encourage you set up the context, tease at the design, what's your goal, what are your design principles, you know, make a story out of it, because this is going on your profile and people might even look at this if they're looking to hire you for a job as well. Okay, thanks for everyone in the chat. We can only share one link at a time with the free version. Yes, with the free version of XD, you can only share one link at a time. So here we go, we have our design on there. And when there's one last important piece to this, you can give it a title. And when you go to the Discoverability tab, add the keyword XD Daily Challenge, right? XD Daily Challenge, and that will make sure that it populates with all the other designs that people are submitting, and so we can see everyone's work come through with this tag. So be sure to add XD Daily Challenge as a keyword to your design. Awesome. I'm really excited to see everyone's work come through Discord and give feedback to everyone. I think this is going to be a fun one, and I can't wait to see everyone's skills go to a new level. And I will be back again tomorrow at the same exact time. Or actually, no, not tomorrow. We have a weekend. We're not streaming on the weekend. Monday, I will be back, and we're going to do this again with a new challenge. And we're going to continue out through the rest of the week. I will see you then. Have a great weekend, and peace out.